Here's the complete script, 828 words within target range. In the spring of 1947, a 24-year-old German soldier stood in front of a mirror and did not recognize the face looking back at him. Not confusion, not shock, he simply saw a stranger. And 78 years later, neuroscientists still cannot explain the single detail that makes his case impossible. He knew his own voice instantly. He knew his own hands. He could pick his own handwriting out of a stack of 100 pages, just not his face. Something in his brain had drawn a line, and nobody has ever found where that line lives. His name was withheld. Doctors called him Patient S. He'd taken a bullet near the back of his skull during the war, a wound that should have killed him and somehow didn't. He recovered his memory. He recovered his speech. He recovered, as far as anyone could measure, his intelligence. But faces had become geometry to him: noses, eyebrows, the spacing between eyes, data with no name attached. A German psychiatrist named Joachim Bodimer examined him and coined a word for what he was witnessing: prosopagnosia, face blindness. The first clinical proof that recognizing a face and recognizing a person were two separate jobs, running on two separate wires, and one of them had simply gone dark. At first, the anomaly looked survivable. Patient S could still function. He held conversations. He read newspapers. He walked through the world like anyone else, right up until someone stood in front of him. Then the first true crack appeared. He couldn't recognize his own mother. She'd speak, and recognition would arrive instantly, a half-second behind her voice, never from her face. Bodimer tested him with photographs of his own family. Nothing, blank shapes. He wasn't guessing wrong. He wasn't hesitating. His brain wasn't even attempting the match. Something that every human infant does unconsciously within the first 2 days of life had been switched off in a grown man cleanly, like a room going dark behind a closed door. The obvious theory was damage. A bullet tears through tissue that happened to sit near the back of the brain in a fold called the fusiform gyrus, the region we now know lights up specifically for faces and almost nothing else. Simple story: break the region, lose the function. Doctors filed it exactly that way for years. Localized injury, localized deficit, case closed. It fit everything textbooks already believed about the brain as a machine of separable parts. Except it didn't fit what came next. Researchers began finding people with prosopagnosia who had no injury at all. No bullet, no stroke, no tumor, no lesion visible on any scan available. Some were born this way, quietly face-blind their entire childhoods, mistaking classmates for strangers and strangers for classmates, without ever telling anyone because they assumed everyone struggled the same way. If the deficit required a broken fusiform gyrus, these brains should have been blank there too. They weren't. The region lit up on imaging exactly like anyone else's. The hardware looked intact. The software simply refused to run. Then came the detail that still unravels the whole theory. Some of these patients can't recognize their own faces in a mirror, yet their bodies still respond to those faces at a level consciousness never reaches. Skin conductance tests, the same measurement used in polygraphs, spike when a face-blind patient is shown a photo of someone they love, even while they insist out loud that the face means nothing to them. Somewhere below language, below awareness, recognition is still happening. The signal arrives. It just never makes it to the part of the mind that can say a name. One neurologist described it as a phone ringing in a house where every door to that room has been welded shut. You can hear it. You can never answer it. Doctors tried memory failure. Ruled out patients recall names, birthdays, entire biographies, just not the face attached to them. They tried general vision loss. Ruled out the same patients read fine print, spot a friend by their walk, their coat, their gait, sometimes from 50 feet away, correctly every time. They tried emotional flattening, a general dulling of connection. Ruled out the skin still spikes, the heart still races, the body still knows. Every explanation that could close the case has been tested and has failed, one by one, leaving researchers with a recognition system that works and doesn't work at the same time, in the same brain, in the same instant. Patient S lived the rest of his life memorizing voices instead of faces, learning people the way the blind learn a room. Modern imaging can now watch a face-blind brain in real time and still cannot say why the signal stops exactly where it does. The wire is there. The current runs through it, and somewhere between the eye and the name, something still refuses to answer.